you're anything like me, you hate cities. You despise the cities, in fact. Noisy, stinky, they're polluted, full of people just in the way. Move, bitch, get out the way. Just horrible, horrible places. So today I'm going to give you 5 great reasons why walking in the forest is absolutely brilliant for the human being. 5 good reasons, eh? Okay, well, I believe the saying going around the internet at the moment is, let's get into it. Now, number 1, I'm sure this is going to come as no shock to any of you. It helps to reduce your cortisol levels and helps with stress recovery. Oh, who knew? I mean, let's face it, that is exactly why we get out in nature. But forests specifically, the concept of Shinrin-yoku, I believe that is Japanese, correct me if I'm wrong, or forest bathing is backed by data showing that spending time in a wooded area lowers levels of cortisol. Compare these visuals and sounds, for example, to those of a busy city with car horns and screaming people and all sorts of nonsense that is just going to spike your cortisol levels. It's just going to stress you out left, right and centre. Now imagine me surrounded by this. Imagine hearing the birds chirping, the sun poking through the trees. No cyclists or buses or motorcycles flying at you, flying past you. No one shouting, screaming anywhere near. Nobody. Nothing remotely even human. Rather than maybe a few tracks anywhere near. Just the breeze, the plants, the peace. Number 2, you're going to like this one. I think this is super interesting. Never heard of this before today. I'm not sure if you can tell I googled all of this. This is not from my brain. So, number 2, exposure to phytoncides. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Phytoncides, trees and plants emit organic compounds called phytoncides, or essential oils, to protect themselves from insects and from rotting. When you breathe these in, they can increase the activity of natural killer cells in your immune system. How cool is that? Walking around plants can boost your immune system. So versus maybe getting your steps in, walking around streets or maybe like a shopping mall or anywhere else other than forests, you're not going to get the benefit of the good old phytoncides. Number 3 on the list is the fact that forests, essentially, they are giant air purifiers. Left or right, you are surrounded by trees. Each one of them essentially breathes carbon dioxide. So they take in the carbon dioxide and they give out oxygen. And obviously we do the opposite. So that's perfect for us. Now, contrast that to cities. You've just got exhaust fumes, followed by exhaust fumes, followed by exhaust fumes, and coughing and spluttering and sneezing left and right. All you're taking in is stuff that's terrible for your body. Whereas here, all you're taking in is the cleanest of clean air. Beautiful, fresh, oxygenated air. Almost ironically, for many years ago, I used to have to go into London to the Royal Brompton Hospital, and they would every 3 months give me a check-up with my lungs and help me with my lung health. But every time I'd get back from the hospital, I'd have to blow my nose at least 3 times, and every time it would come out a sooty black. And I just thought, how am I going into this city to be helped? And yet the pollution, talking of this kind of pollution, I mean, obviously it's not as bad for your lungs, but it's terrible for the planet. But I'm like, how is this going to help me with my health if the pollution is literally killing me every time I go into the city? Boggles my mind. But obviously we look here, and again, it is nice and clean and green and brown and beautiful. Now you may be wondering, why am I washing my hands? Well, that is of course because of number 4, the soil-based antidepressant known as Mycobacterium vaccae. And I asked Gemini how that's pronounced, and that's what she said. And that's not a joke, that is literally what she said. So I'm not necessarily convinced I'm still pronouncing that correctly. But yes, did you know that forest soil is home to a specific bacterium called Mycobacterium vaccae? Research indicates that contact with this bacterium, either through skin or inhalation while walking, so literally you can just reach your hand into the soil, give it a little jiggle, smooth it all over your body, do whatever you fancy, you're weirdo. And yeah, it can trigger the release of serotonin in the brain. This natural antidepressant effect can improve cognitive function and decrease anxiety levels in a way that mirrors the effects of some pharmaceutical stabilizers. And see, now I'm wondering whether Big Pharma has anything to do with new car parks that have been popping up all over the show, making me pay to go on walks. Well, I mean, I refuse to pay to park my car. I will actively go out of my way to find a spot that I don't have to pay for, but, you know, other people. And finally, we come to number 5 on the list. And no, it is not that absolutely gorgeous dog, although that certainly helps. No, number 5 is visual fractal therapy. And that was actually my third take trying to say that. Forests are primary sources of fractals, which are complex patterns that repeat at scale, like the branching of a tree or veins on a leaf. The human eye is biologically tuned to process these specific natural geometries. Observing them reduces physiological stress by up to 60%, as it requires less mental effort for the visual cortex to interpret than sharp linear lines of man-made environments. So again, the natural environment is where we're supposed to. It's weird that we call it nature, isn't it? I mean, this is just outdoors. We've really massively altered outdoors, and we think it suits us, but I'm not so sure, you know. I think chronicness, chronic being in the city, all these kind of things, it could just really get us down. And so, for sure, getting out and about in the forests is 100% the way forward. Now, obviously, everything I mentioned so far is a human benefit, but as you can see, I'm walking with a dog, and she gets some benefits too. Obviously, she has all the same benefits as I do with regards to the, was it there, the mycobacterium baccae? I can't remember, the screen's gone off now. But one of the things she always manages to do here is find some kind of treasure. Now, she found one of these several months ago, and she found one again today. Check this out. She's found an antler. I'm not even sure you can buy these in shops. Probably not, to be honest. I'm serious. I don't know how she does it. Literally every time we go, she finds something. She finds bones. She's found a fawn, like premature born. It was already not breathing, let's say. She found, again, same deal with a lamb, premature born. I think it's like a really warm day in February. Last week she found a cow's stomach. I mean, she just finds stuff. She's amazing at finding stuff. So she always has an absolute whale of a time whenever we go here. Now, here I'm trying out a new camera angle. It's proper awkward and it shifts around. I kind of dig it, but you'll have to let me know what you think. Well, that just about does it for our walk in Wyre Forest today. But tell me, does it make you want to go forest bathing anytime soon? Answers in the comments.